Safety and health. The learning objectives I would like you to know from this presentation. I want you to explain the factors of the safety and health program, demonstrate safe work habits and help prevent on-the-job injuries, identify and explain the application of lockout and tagout devices, select the personal protective devices or equipment that are used for our situation at the print shop, practice proper material and tool handling as well as the technique for lifting, have the recommended procedure for storing and using toxic and flammable liquids, describe proper noise control and means of preventing ear damage, give examples of means for fire prevention and control. I want you to discuss safe practices to be used when operating computer equipment, and always explain the ways in which printing facilities can minimize damage to the environment. So first off, we're going to talk a little bit about safety and health. It is an important consideration in the printing industry. Many accidents are caused by carelessness and ignorance that can be prevented if all employees are well informed in preventative and predictive safety measures. Most printing operations provide safety and health programs based on the 5 safety hazards areas specified by OSHA, which is Occupational Safety and Health Administration. OSHA is the agency in the U.S. Department of Labor that promotes and enforces safe and helpful working conditions. The administration also educates employees and employees about the industrial hazards. The 5 OSHA specified hazard areas are chemical, mechanical, noise, fire, and light. Planning a safe work environment. An effective safety program begins with informed students and employees. A safe operation depends on all personnel being properly informed of potential hazards, accident prevention measures, and proper first aid response. A safety tour. Students entering the graphic arts program and employees new to a printing facility should be given an opportunity to review all relevant safety documents and be given a safety tour of the facility which they're working. A safety tour should include information indicating inherent dangers such as presses, paper cutters, folders, stitchers, and chemical hazards. The location of master switches, emergency stop buttons, fire extinguishers, fire alarms, and first aid kits should be stressed. In addition, items such as safety color codes should be emphasized and explained in detail. The safety color codes have been established to alert and inform students and workers to take precautionary actions around potential hazard. For personal conduct, safety is the responsibility of every person. Horseplay of any kind should never be allowed. OSHA governs the safety and health of work in the United States. All types of businesses and industry firms are required to comply with the OSHA regulations or face severe penalties. The color red is for danger or stop. The safety color orange is warning. Safety yellow is warning. Safety green means safety equipment. Safety blue is information about safety. Safety purple is usually radiation. Safety gray, black, and white usually indicate work areas. Fluorescent colors and reflective materials often mean there's dangerous spots or dark areas. And some piping, if it's hazardous or could cause problems, is also red. Mechanical hazard. Oftentimes on-the-job physical injuries result in mechanical hazard. The following regulations should be followed. Machines must be properly guarded. Machine guards protect workers by preventing flying fragments from cutting, smashing, or hitting parts of the human body. Barrier guards are plastic or metal safety barriers covering all point of operation of the machinery. If the guard is not in the proper position, power is cut off to that machine. Most paper cutters require both control buttons to be pressed at the same time. This ensures that the operator's hands cannot be near the blade when cutting. Never bypass safety devices. Lockout and tagout devices must be used during maintenance. The school lab or commercial print facility would have this accessible with a main disconnect switch, which allows all power to machinery and small appliances to be turned off when the lab or facility is not in use. Lockout devices use a key or combination lock to hold an energy-isolating device in the off position to prevent the machine from energizing. A tagout device is a prominent warning attached to the energy-isolating device. Workers must use personal protective equipment, or PPE, whenever for various types of protection for eye, ear, respiratory, skin devices. Even if the personal protective devices are worn, accidents can happen. It is important that everyone be trained in first aid. Ink mists are tiny drops that's making up a spray or fog or mist of ink, creating a rotating presses, rollers through any tiny drops into the air. If you get ink in your eye, the best way to get it out is to use an eye wash station to flush it out. Proper material and tool handling is very important. You can avoid physical injuries by correctly handling materials and tools, practicing good housekeeping, and following basic safety rules. When lifting material, you should keep your knees bent and your back straight. Leaning over while lifting is poor practice and causes you to have your back and leg, forces you to use your back rather than your legs to lift. Tips for safe lifting. You should clear a path. Check the weight. If you need help, request help. Keep your back straight, lift with your knees, keep your object close to your body, tighten your stomach, and deliver carefully. Compressed air should never be used to clean off clothes or do general cleanup work. An air nozzle can force air through the skin and into the bloodstream, creating a condition and can cause death. Many printing facilities have basic safety rules. First one, check to make sure all guards are in place. Never turn a machine on unless all the tools have been removed from it and all the mechanisms have been set correctly. Make sure no one near the machine before you start it up. Hands should be clear of any points of operation while running a machine. Do not grab paper, perform adjustments, lubricate parts, or do anything when the machine is running. Always work with an assistant when cleaning or operating machinery. While working around operating machinery, people should not wear long sleeves, bulky sweaters, jewelry, neckties, scarves, or other loose items. You want to keep your long hair tied back. The floor of the facility should always be kept clean of liquid and debris, and hands should be washed before eating and drinking to remove any toxic products. OSHA requires employees to keep a list of hazardous chemicals used in the premises, maintain files for material safety data sheets or SDS sheets or MSDS sheets on the chemical to train their employees to use the chemicals that respond properly to the accident occurs. MSDS or SDS sheets give the chemical name, the name and address and telephone number of the manufacturer. It also gives information regarding personal protective equipment to use, storage and handling of the chemical, and what to do in case of an emergency. Chemical handling and disposing. Although there are non-toxic cleaning solvents available, many blankets and roller washes contain volatile organic compounds or VOCs. These are organic compounds that are significantly precipitate into a photochemical reaction that's released hazardous emissions. A VOC eventually evaporates and reacts with the atmosphere and sunlight to create smog or other pollutants. Some solvents are more harmful than others. A solvent's flash point is the lowest temperature at which a solvent emits vapors that will ignite if exposed to an open flame or spark. Most harmful materials should be disposed of in a hazardous safety can. When diluting plate-making chemicals, always pour the acid into the water. Never add water into concentrated acid. Doing so can produce a dangerous splattering of the acid. Noise levels. Printing, binding, and finishing equipment create loud noises. Excessive noise in a printing facility can reduce the efficiency of the facility workforce, interfere with the clear communications, and cause permanent hearing damage. Sound levels are expressed in units called decibels. Fire hazard. Printing industry employees must be alert to situations that can cause fire. The National Fire Protection Association lists the following major problem areas in the printing industry: flammable debris left on the floor or around equipment, low flash point for solvents and presses, static electricity accumulating on the press, oily cloths left outside the can, flammable ink and solvent tools, greasy metal parts and tools that can be cleaned, paper dust from binding and press area, scrap paper accumulation, set-off spray powder accumulation. The proper extinguishers should be located near the potential hazard areas. A Class A fire is combustible or near materials such as wood and paper. A Class B fire is flammable liquids such as grease, oil, and paints. A Class C fire is electrical, and a Class D is combustible metals. There is a light hazard, and they can be a source that can cause damage to a person's skin or eye. Ultraviolet or UV radiation is used for curing ink and exposing plates. Infrared light is often used to ink drying and ink curing devices. Laser beams are commonly used for plate exposure and are potentially hazardous or harmful. An ergonomics hazard is the study of equipment design that can improve the convenience of use in the operator. For computer sense, you should use a chair that has an adjustable back for support. You should place light sources perpendicular to your computer so it will not shine in your eye. You should use anti-static cloth to keep the dust and fingerprints off the monitors and glass. You should inspect and clean the computer fan periodically. You should position the monitor 16 to 30 inches away from your eyes. It should be tilted slightly up as if it was a book. When typing from copy, keep it as close to the monitor as possible to prevent swiveling your gaze back and forth. Take periodic breaks, at least 15 minutes every 2 hours, and make an effort to blink frequently. Environmental considerations. Manufacturers of printing supplies and equipment have taken the responsibility of developing new environmental friendly technologies and materials. Using recycled paper when possible, know what is the environmentally smart and what is not. Recycle at school, work, and home, and perform environmental audits. And that is safety and health.